Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, and we are going to, our topic today is going to be how are you going to redirect your emotions during these times of uncertainty. So I'm going to introduce myself real quick. I'm Rashonda Thornton.
And I'm Natalie Gensits. Hello.
And we're just going to continue to give you these 30 days in 30 ways to wellness. So today is day 6, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And like I said, what we talked about yesterday, just real quick, was just about leaning on faith through these times instead of letting fear come up. Because we know during these times when you are hearing all different things through the outlets in the news, fear starts to arise. So what can you start to lean on to create a new foundation? And faith is what we really highlighted. So take a look at our segment yesterday to kind of get a little bit more insight on what we mean by that. But today, as we're continuing through these times of uncertainty, kind of how can we start to check in on our emotions? Because we can do things without even knowing it when it comes to reacting to certain situations. So how can we find ways to redirect some of these emotions that can tend to be negative? And so, what I always will start off with just understanding first is realizing what you can and cannot control. And this can be utilized in any part of life, but just given this particular circumstance, there are some things we cannot control. So what are some things we can control? And as I said earlier, it's how do we react and respond during these times of uncertainties? And so I'm going to let Natalie kind of give some of her thoughts on, some of the emotional pieces, and we're just kind of going to go back and forth with that.
Yeah, thanks, Rashonda. So this is really important, and I've been working on this for the past several months through a retraining my brain program, just to basically, it's kind of like taking every thought captive, but then redirecting that as needed, because what I've realized through the process is that I had more anxious and worrisome thoughts than I realized. And I've never been diagnosed with anxiety. It's not to that level at all. It's just kind of in my family's genes. And I've known that for a while. But it's I want to break that pattern. I don't want to hold on to that stuff that they hold on to. So this program has helped me do that. And basically, it is recognizing what you can and can't control. And I can control my emotions and my thoughts. It takes practice, though, and that's what this is all about. It's easy to say control your thoughts and emotions, right? But it's a different thing to do. And that's where it means taking that thought captive and pausing in the moment to redirect if it's not a helpful thought. It needs to go away.
And let's kind of give some ideas of what could be some general feelings and emotions that probably are arising through these times. Anxiety, definitely, I would say, is the first one.
Yes.
But then just the feeling of feeling isolated, feeling, you're alone in this. And then just that to me just kind of rolls into just feeling hopelessness. And it's kind of losing the hope with it. And with that, spins off negative responses. It can be just being short-tempered with your family members. Yes, we start getting irritable, you just start speaking negative language because you're feeling, you're bringing these negative emotions. So you start to illustrate it through the way you treat people or the way you see things, the way you talk. So just understanding what are the emotions that you are expressing, that you're feeling, and then seeing what is the byproduct of that? What's happening? Are you seeing it in a negative way? Or are you just continuously talking negative about things? Are you treating the people that you love negative? So those are just some of the things that just recognizing first the emotions and then what's happening after those emotions.
And overwhelm is one for me. So like you say, it doesn't, you don't necessarily think you're being negative sometimes. And the littlest thing can be negative. Like my kids annoying me and I'm like, oh, that's sigh, I don't have to say anything. My tone can just, indicate it. So it's contagious too, what I'm finding out. And you probably, many of you are as well, being confined to the same space as your family. So you spin off of each other and breed whatever it is. If your kids are irritable and anxious, or your husband is, then you have to stop and think, am I being that way? Because, I'm a part of this piece of this puzzle and I might be contributing to it.
Yeah.
And I have the power to control what I'm contributing.
Yeah, like I say, you recognize that. Are you feeding in? Are you the one of the feeders into this whole cloud of negativity or emotional pieces? So that's a great point, especially the overwhelming piece. I think they all just kind of connect. I think everyone probably have a piece of all of them, you know. So if you do feel like one or two of those or something that you're experiencing, possibly, like say, Dallas had to redirect these thoughts, you know. I have a couple of tips, you know. Some action tips that I can help that I think would be good for redirecting would be is find someone to talk to about this stuff. We are all in this. We're all experiencing similar things. And just having a way to have an outlet. But use this opportunity to find someone to talk to that you haven't talked to for a while. Whether it's a friend from college, a long lost relative that you haven't connected with. Use this opportunity to kind of rebuild those relationships. I think it just kind of probably ease up that feeling, some of those emotional feelings. Or surround yourself by positive resources like get some of the books. I'm sure there's so many books out there that we can probably dive into, whether it's listening to the audio version or reading it. Speaking of audio, multiple podcast shows out there that has really trying to turn the way we think and how we're dealing with this, or even just like video messaging that's positive. So bring in some of that positive stuff, but then sweep away some of that negative stuff. Negative, like don't absorb so much of the negative media, don't absorb so much of the negative information, because that's going to keep you imploding. So just try to like pull back some of the negative things and bring in some more of the positive thing. I think that'll kind of help to redirect the emotional piece to it.
Yeah, and I was even talking to a family member yesterday, and he was saying how he was tired of hearing everybody talk about, you know, how the president's not doing the right thing or how the leaders aren't doing the right thing, and how hindsight's 2020, and we've got to just kind of chill out. And I'm thinking, stop listening to that stuff then, because I'm not listening to it, and I'm not getting that irritated about it. You know, I have to purposefully watch what, or you know, only watch what I'm going to get true information from, and then leave it at that and go do one of your more positive suggestions.
Great point.
And what was I going to say? Oh, just more of like the whole, in more specifically to redirecting, or another way to look at it is just kind of separating yourself from those thoughts and emotions. And that's not to ever say that you shouldn't have an emotion, because you have to acknowledge what the emotions are that you're having, but you don't have to hang on to that. And you can choose a different emotion. Like if I'm going to get discouraged that something isn't going the way that I want to, I can say, oh, this sucks. Here I go again. All of this effort, it's not working. Or I can just say, okay, that's my old pattern of thinking, but I'm trying different things now and I'm moving forward, and I'm not going to go back to that old pattern. I need to detach from that, understand that I can be frustrated for a moment, but then I'm done with that. I need to move on and do something productive.
No, those are great. Yeah, recognize it and then find a way to detach. Yeah, and that just kind of like sums up, like at the end of the day, like focus on making the best choice in the given circumstance right now. And that comes to, you know, if you recognize how you're responding to things, analyze it first. Is it neutral? Is it positive? Is it negative? What direction is it shifting you towards? If it's not shifting you towards something positive, then find a way to unravel the ties so that you're not constantly living in this cycle of just thinking negatively, talking negatively, you know, bringing in more negative energy. Try to like push through some of those things. Again, control what you can control. Right now, they control your emotions in a way to how you respond to things, which is how you perceive it. We can't control what is happening right now, so we can only control what we can control with how we react to it.
Right. And just one quick other note, Rashonda, like control the quickness of your response or reaction too, because sometimes if you are acting out of fear or anxiety, it's not going to be a good decision. So that's
so true.
If I keep reading, you know, don't make your decisions based on your emotions. So again, when you separate yourself, you can give it a little time and then come back to it and make a better decision when you're not freaked out or whatever you want to call it in the moment, feeling lonely.
Yeah. Maybe. Right. So we're, as always, we want to, as we're giving you guys these tips and these thoughts that we're these basically just conversations that we know that is helping us and we know will probably help you. Feel free to, be a part of this conversation as well. What have been some emotions that you have found that has been maybe a little bit on a higher tier than what it typically is. It is kind of but in what have you seen that came from it? But then discuss, then maybe talk about what can you do to kind of to redirect it moving forward in these times of uncertainty. So we encourage you guys to be a part of this conversation and let's hear your thoughts. Is there some other topics that you find that you are curious for us to talk about? Please type in, let us know, because we want to bring information that again is helping you through these times. This is going to keep you in a positive mental and healthy mind state.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess again we're gonna bring it back to you tomorrow. So enjoy. Hope you enjoyed the show. Again, just share it if it's great knowledge that you know that has helped you and help someone else. And we look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.